at you today from Manhattan, Kansas. We're on the North Farm here on campus. I might not have any field projects this year, but I certainly have not been hurting for tiller content. I've gotten lots of pictures in the last week from producers in Kansas and Indiana, all around the country, that are starting to see tillers showing up in their fields. And I wanted to talk just a little bit about tiller appearance and some of the things that are involved with that. So one of the first things that I want to talk about, especially with the weather conditions that we've been experiencing, is the photothermal quotient. And that sounds like a really fancy word, but basically it's just a way that we can quantify the amount of energy that's available to a plant during a given stage in its development. And so for corn, we would be looking at the amount of daily solar radiation, and we would divide that by the mean temperature minus the base temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. A higher photothermal quotient is more conducive to tillering, and the reason for that is because corn is highly driven by heat to go through its development stages. So if there's not as much heat, it doesn't push through those stages as quickly, and it has more time to do extra things like put on tillers instead of charging through those stages. Another thing with tiller development that I wanted to talk about was appearance and where on the plant they'll be coming on. So the phyllochron is a way that we can describe the amount of time between leaf appearance on a plant. And the reason that we care about phyllochron is because corn, like every other part of nature, operates on a very set cycle in ordered ways, like the Fibonacci sequence. So when corn leaves are developing, when different components of that corn plant are developing, they're happening in very defined ways. And when tillers appear, they will always appear 2 leaves down from the last collared leaf. So there are 2 phylochrons behind the main plant in their development. So basically, if you have a V3 plant, V3 corn plant, you would expect, if it was going to appear, you would see a tiller coming from the sheath of the first leaf. So that tells us that the earliest we can see tillers in corn is V3. The typical window for corn is about V4 to V7, and it's capped at about V7 to V8 because if you think about where tillers are growing from, they're growing from the crown, right? And the crown in corn is the bottom 4 to 5 nodes. They're all compressed there at the bottom. And so 2 leaves ahead of that, right, would be V7, 7 minus 2 is 5, which would be the last node that's in that crown. So that's kind of why that tillering window is capped from V4 to V7. I really appreciate all the support, looking forward to another great season, and excited to get more tillering resources in your hands very, very soon. Thank you.